Hi, I'm Ray Salisbury, a photography tutor from Nelson, New Zealand. Today we're going to look at some composition basics, like where do you put your subject within the camera frame. Let's do it. Now, I've travelled by car for 7 hours just to get this shot, so fingers crossed, I hope my efforts will be rewarded. We're here at the Okarito Lagoon on the west coast of New Zealand, and I'm pointing my camera at this rustic shed on the wharf. Now, if the wind dies down, I'm hoping that we'll get some lovely reflections in the water. You see, I've planned the shot with military precision. I checked Google Earth to get a feel for the lay of the land, the photographer's ephemeris for sunset times and angles. I did a Google search for other people's images and also looked at the local tide charts to make sure the tide was in. Done all the hard work. Fingers crossed we'll get the nice lovely reflections in the water. Now I've rotated my circular polarizer filter and I'm getting really good reflections in the water. The camera settings are quite easy. On aperture priority, I've dialed up f11. The ISO is 100 to avoid noise, and the shutter speed doesn't really matter because I'm using a tripod. Now it's a waiting game. I'm hoping that the sun finally appears from behind the curtain of cloud. Now let's look at framing. Normally I'd use the rule of thirds, positioning the shed over to the top right, like this. There's a natural sort of lead-in line which guides the eye across the scene to this focal point. But the resident photographer here reckons that mood is the third dimension of photography. So how am I going to convey mood here? I think I'll try and achieve a sense of tranquility and a feeling of peace and serenity. So I'm going to use symmetry. You see, I'm torn between emphasizing the sky or the sea. So I'm going to place the horizon bang in the middle so we get the best of both worlds. Now, I do realize that we're breaking the rule of thirds, but I'm trying to achieve a sense of balance between the sky and the foreground. Now, with strong reflections, this does work. And finally, it's important to allow some breathing space around the object, the rustic shed in this case. You don't want anything right next to the edge of the frame. That creates tension. Not good. As you can see, all my planning and efforts paid off. I got a 10-minute weather window during the magic hour, just before the sun sank into the Tasman. Then the light show was all over, and later that night the rain set in. If you enjoyed this tutorial, why not subscribe to my channel? And don't forget to download the free PDF guide on this topic. Down here it's called Symmetry Explained. Well, it's time to get out of here.